All right, unsolicited advice, I guess. So we got the super chat here from Rizzo. He says, "I've always felt like a woman who has multiple dogs and no men have issues. Ran into a few of them."
He's a
Um,
hater. He's hating on everybody.
Yeah.
But that's
Rizzo
well,
is, he feels like,
there's one in every crowd, right? But
yeah, but I
it's
mean, like,
turns out I just love animals.
I'll be completely honest with you. If I was single and dating and I was talking to multiple options, which is how I would date multiple women simultaneously in a non-monogamous fashion, let the cream rise to the top and sort of make decisions from there. If I were to come across you, Chrissy, I'd be like, yeah, she's good looking, but dog thing, I don't know, man. We'll see about that. 3 fluffy white yappy dogs, even if they're not yappy, fluffy white dogs got to be useful, in my book. They got to be able to rip off your arm and like throw it at you, right? Like I want a dog that like that in my face. Yappy baby dogs, not my thing. So and I know a lot of guys that feel the same way. Like we have this conversation a lot of the times, with my friends. So I think that you're limiting some of your options out there to some degree, and most of the time women will never change, like because a guy like me says something like that. They'll be like, well, I like my dog, so I don't care. I'll find the right guy. But I think you do limit yourself when you turn your house into a zoo. I'm not saying 3's a zoo. It could turn into a zoo depending on the size of the house. I've been over to a gal's house where it smelled like a zoo. So it can be problematic.
Well,
But
to be fair, one is black. So, and here
okay.
she is.
fluffy black dog, whatever. They're usually like Bichons or something like that, like fluffy white dogs, something like that. Anyway, sweet girl though, very very sweet. Beth, when I was saying jacked, it wasn't a compliment actually. Like the muscular girl thing. I know that there's a lot. Like I go to the gym and there's a couple of gals close to my age that are jacked. Like you can tell that they've got a hormone doctor and they've got some testosterone and they're using a little bit more than what the doctor wants them to use, and they get big.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Yeah. I would caution you to getting too big because again, you're going to limit your options on the dating marketplace. Because I think generally speaking, the look that most guys appreciate is sort of like a feminine fitness type of physique, like a sort of like a bikini model sort of thing. But when you're able to flex arms that are probably the same size as a lot of guys out there today that don't work out, you're going to limit your options. But at the same time, you're probably not interested in a twerp with, like a pear-shaped body and skinny arms anyway. So
no, I'm tall and thick, so I need a guy taller and thicker than me.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of guys like that are, I mean, like over 6 foot, that's less than 14% of the North American population. So if you like tall, you got to go to like Netherlands or something like that. You need Dutchmen. But in North America, it's less than 14% of the population. So, you really limit yourself when you like big, tall jack guys. I get it though. Again, a lot of the opinions fantastic. I think you got your head screwed on pretty good. But a lot of this is like, when the rubber meets the road sort of thing. I would actually encourage all of you gals to go to the Psych Hacks channel and watch Ryan Tireband's 3-part series on how to get the guy sort of thing. Because I think it's really well explained. It's probably like 45 minutes in length in total for all 3, but it's definitely worth checking out. Jill, Jill, the whole bad decision with the alpha guy 10 years older than you, like a lot of guys have a hard time looking past stuff like that. I said earlier during the show, like men are very interested in a woman's past because women are super interested in our futures, which is totally fine. I have nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to be interested in my future ability to provide, protect, do all the good stuff that, chicks dig, I'm going to be asking questions like, okay, well, she's bringing another dude's kid to the table. And that guy was all about this, that, and the other thing. Not that you can go in a time machine or change any of that, but that's going to be difficult to deal with. I don't have an answer to that other than try to put some lipstick and makeup on it and make it look better than probably what it is. Tiffany, you're how old again? 24? You got your whole life ahead of you. You're sitting on a panel talking to a bunch of guys and gals that are dispensing advice. I'm curious, how did you take it all?
Well, I think I got some different point of views from a couple of the ladies and of you guys, of course. I mean, it's something to think about for my next relationships, I guess. But
Yeah.
It's been kind of nice hearing what everybody else has had to say on certain subjects as like the three main lists we went off of earlier.
Yeah, there's some depth to it still too, of course.
Mhm.
You know, beyond just be useful, be, you know, awesome in the bedroom and never ever disrespect him. Again, there's a lot of nuances to it. And I think that it's tough today because a lot of social media narratives, like even though we've got a base panel, we've got like the anti-woke sort of crowd here sort of thing, I still hear a lot of the progressive terms like partner, you know, like our goals together sort of thing. So some of those narratives are never ever really going to go away, but ask questions, go down rabbit holes, ask yourself and ask your friends often, how is that working out for you? You know, like past decisions, things that they talk about, ideas that they toss around. Because, you know, I find it's always interesting, you know, if you're sitting at a table and a gal's going on and, you know, dispensing advice to another gal sort of thing. But then you sort of look at the results that they've acquired as a collective of all those choices and beliefs. And you kind of go like, well, how's all of that working out for you? Right. So ask questions.
Yeah,
again,
my friends call that the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, it is. It is. And there's a lot of people out there, men and women alike, that like to talk about areas that they would call of expertise that they are not a master of at all. I really hope you guys enjoyed that clip. If you want to watch the full-length podcast, you can find that over here, that clip's from. If you're newer to the channel, make sure you hit subscribe over here and pin down below in the top comment. You'll find a bunch of useful links to my website, my supplement line, books, and a bunch of other stuff. Have an amazing day. Peace out.